Hello everybody, welcome to the latest video. As you can see, my name is Chris and it is Christmas because I have my Santa hat on, so it's clearly Christmas. I'm here live on Twitch and YouTube with my Twitch chat and my YouTube chat technically as well, and we are reading through and looking through all the new Eldar detachments for the Grotmas Christmas detachments releases, and this is the Drukhari one, which is I'm really excited by. Twitch chat has just said it's Fromus. Yes, it is not Christmas, it is now Fromus. So this is the Drukhari one. I'm really excited about the Drukhari one. I've got an absolutely massive Drukhari army. I've got lots of Eldar as well, but the Eldar are kind of converted so that they look like kind of Dark Eldar, or Dark Eldari if you like.
WTF, I didn't realize I wasn't still subbed and was like, why ads though?
Thank you very much. Cheers for the resubscribe. So the Reaper's Wages is amongst the most macabre sadists, depicting a gruesome tale of murderous bets between merciless killers and mythic executioners. It is a well-known tale that is greatly enjoyed in the depths of the Dark City. When Harlequin and Drukhari go to war as one, Khmorite warriors often perform an accompanying role in its retelling. Bladed Drukhari transports emerge from the webway alongside scintillating Harlequin skimmers and emblazoned with dazzling adornments. Cavalite warriors open fire upon the foe from firing decks, and witches howl and whoop as they leap acrobatically into the fray. As Harlequin troops begin their gore-slick recital, they inhabit their roles wholeheartedly, competing furiously with the Drukhari allies to score the greatest tally of luridly violent kills. So, the detachment rule here, if anybody has watched Lord of the Rings, you will know very well what this detachment rule, how this detachment rule works. It is Gimli versus Legolas, Drukhari versus Harlequins. Whoever has the most kills, the other army, the other faction, the other force gets a bonus. That bonus is you can re-roll a hit roll of a 1 and re-roll a wound roll of a 1. So if the Drukharis have got more kills, you've got to keep a tally. If the Drukhari have got more kills, then the Harlequins will get the re-rolls. If the Harlequins have got more kills, then the Drukhari will get the re-rolls. It's a really interesting detachment rule. It's obviously going to take a lot to kind of keep track of and kind of tally up, but I'm sure it's also going to provide a little bit of narrative and fun hobbying to kind of create a little tally board with Drukhari on one side and Harlequins on the other side, and kind of keeping track of the kills and things. So it'll be quite good fun. And interestingly as well, they have upped the number of points, which is necessary as well. So before, you, as a Drukhari player, you could take 500 points of Harlequins in a 2,000 point army. Now you can go 50-50, so now you can take 1,000 points. So you can have 1,000 points of Harlequins, 1,000 points of Drukhari, and then you're having this wager throughout the game, which is really interesting. Now, I will kind of talk about my thoughts about it at the end, but we're going to go into some enhancements now, and we'll start with the Arch Raider, which is already an incredible enhancement. So Harlequins and Drukhari are pretty much guaranteed to be the two fastest armies in 40k. Arch Raider makes them even quicker. So Harlequins or Drukhari model only, so you can put this on either of them. In the declare battle formation step, if the bearer starts the battle embarked on a transport, the transport has Scout 9. So you can already move 1,000,000 miles a turn. Now you can move 9 inches before you move that 1,000,000 miles in your first turn. So really cool. It allows you to be aggressive with a transport that's got a homunculus or a troop master or Lilith or some kind of Drukhari close combat unit in there. Could be really aggressive with it. If you do win the first turn, you can then move even more aggressive and move 9 inches further away. If you don't get first turn, you can then move 9 inches back and be a little bit more defensive. Fantastic. 15 points, absolute bargain. Why is it 15 points? I don't know why it's 15 points. Webway Walker is also 15 points. Harlequin or Drukhari model only. Models in the bearer's unit have Deep Strike. Each time the bearer's unit is set up on the battlefield using Deep Strike, if the unit is currently losing until the end of the turn, you can re-roll charge rolls. So, like, imagine giving this to witches. So you give this to a witch or a succubus. Give it to a succubus in a unit of witches. Bring them in turn 2. So Deep Strike them in turn 2. After the Harlequins have killed something turn 1, and then they're re-rolling the charge. It's very, very cool. And 15 points. Again, it's just an auto take. You're going to have Drukhari and Harlequin characters left, right, and centre in this force, in my opinion. So throwing this on a succubus for 15 points is just a bargain. And then you've also got a Harlequin Troopmaster with a Scout 9 ability. Yeah, anyway. Really, really cool. 25 points this time. Harlequin model only. Models in the bearer units have stealth and infiltrate. Again, fastest armies in 40k. We get Scout 9 and now we get infiltrate as well. So stealth and infiltrate on a unit of troop right up in the enemy's grill. Forcing and pushing that wager over towards the Harlequins in turn 1, so that you're getting the Drukhari behind, so that when the Drukhari kind of come in turn 2, I'm getting ahead of myself. Fantastic. It's really, really cool. Conductor of Torment, 20 points. So this is a Drukhari only. And then in your command phase, you can do one of the following. If your Drukhari units are currently losing the wager, I can pay a pain token. So you get pain tokens every time you kill a unit, and you can use those to re-roll hits and wounds. If you do, Drukhari units from your army are now winning the wager, so you can flip it for the price of 1 pain token, which is really, really good. And then if you are currently winning, you can discard a pain token. If you do, Harlequins from your army are now winning the wager, and therefore the Drukhari can then get the bonus. So for 20 points, to be able to manipulate... For 20 points, to be able to manipulate this is fantastic. And I will tell you why at the end of the video. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. Okay. Just want to check. So it's each time. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, so it's absolutely fantastic. Right. Let's get on to the stratagems. Okay, so the detachment has 6 stratagems. They are not all 1 command point this time. We do have one that is 2 command points. You'll understand why that's 2 command points in a second. So the first battle tactic is Malicious Frenzy, and it's in your shooting or fight phase. And you pick one Drukhari or Harlequin's unit, and then you can select either lethal hits or sustained hits. So this is going to be really, really fun for a split unit of Kabbalite warriors that has a dart lance in it, a shredder, a blaster, a blast pistol, and a blast pistol on an Archon, all re-rolling 1s to wound, and getting sustained hits on those shots. That would be really, really fun for 1 command point. Or for sustained hits on a Harlequin unit, you could use Skyweavers. So you could have 8 shots on a unit of 4 Skyweavers, getting sustained hits, effectively hitting on 2s because you're getting the sustained hits, doing anti-vehicle 4+, devastating wounds, damage 3. You could also do that. So yeah, Malicious Frenzy is pretty cool. There's obviously, you can apply that to pretty much all of the other units as well. Lethal hits would be quite fun for just loads of splinter shots. Really, really nice little stratagem for 1 command point. Fateful Roll is in the fight phase, and you pick one Drukhari or Harlequin unit from your army that was selected as the target of one of the enemy attacks, and they get Fight on Death. Now they get Fight on Death on a 4+, unless that unit is from a faction that is losing the wager. So if you're losing the wager, if you're Drukhari, if the Harlequins have currently got more kills, and you are picking a Drukhari unit for this, then they are fighting on death on a 3+. You get +1 to this dice roll if you're losing the wager. So fighting on death on a 3+ is really good. Like, fight on death is always really, really good. Like, Incubi are, like, you're just not going to charge Incubi because Incubi will just kill you back. And then they'll get to kill, whatever's left will then kill you again. So really, really fun. You could definitely use this on Incubi. You could definitely use it on Harlequins. Obviously, I would try to manipulate this so that whenever you are going to be likely to be using it, you're going to be either losing the wager, so you're going to be getting the roll on a 3+. Try not to put units in a position where you're going to be using this and it's going to be fighting on death on a 4+. So it's again, we'll get to this at the end of the video, but this is such a cool manipulative detachment. It's going to be really, really fun to play. Murderer's Circus. This is also in the fight phase. Just after an enemy unit has selected its targets, you pick a Drukhari or a Harlequin unit and then -1 to hit. Perfect, brilliant, 1 command point, great. Great strat. It's always been great strat. -1 to hit has always been brilliant. Perfect. Okay, so shorten the odds. A lot of these stratagems are really simple, useful, and you're going to be using them a fair amount, I think, as you are with this one as well. So in your movement phase, just after a Drukhari or Harlequin unit has advanced, pick that unit. It can shoot and charge and advance after it's advanced. So brilliant, really, really good. And again, this is after it's advanced. So you're going to be able to, if you want to have a couple of units to roll your advance rolls, you want to pick the unit that advances further. So maybe you have 2 units that you want to make the charge, and one of the units rolls a 1 and one of the units rolls a 5. Then you're going to be applying this to the unit that's rolled a 5. So it's really, really useful. You don't have to apply the stratagem before you've advanced. It's after it's advanced. So it's absolutely perfect. It's really, really good. And it's going to be very, very useful. Advancing, shooting and charging witches coming out of a transport that's already moving 1,000,000 miles is like, you're just not going to be able to defend against things like this. Scintillating tempo. Your movement phase or your charge phase just after a Drukhari or Harlequin's units from your army was selected to make a normal, advance or fallback move. And then you declare a charge. So that unit, until the end of the turn, enemy units cannot use fire Overwatch stratagem to shoot at your unit. So no Overwatch. Again, it's just brilliant. It's just really good. It's a useful stratagem for 1 command point. Harlequins and Drukhari, like all Eldar, are inherently fragile. They get shot at, and they're more likely to die than not. So having a no Overwatch strat is absolutely brilliant. It's a great use for one of the 6 stratagems. And then finally, the 2 command point strat. It's the horrible one that everybody hates. Your opponent's movement phase just after the enemy unit ends a normal, advance or fallback move. If it finishes that move within 9 inches of the Drukhari or Harlequin infantry unit, you can move D6 inches. If they are currently losing the wager, if that unit is in the faction that's currently using the wager, it can make a normal move of 6 inches instead. It's just fab. Fab. Really, really cool set of stratagems. Really cool detachment rule. Very cool enhancements. Why that's 15 points, I have no idea. That should be a lot more than that, but Games Workshop love doing weird points. So it's fine. 1,000 points of Harlequins, 1,000 points of Drukhari. It's cool. Okay, I love this. I love this attachment. It's really, really cool. So I said in the intro, at least I think I said in the intro, that I'm kind of falling out. Well, not really falling out, but just getting a little bit kind of like sad and bummed about 40k at the moment, because on the battlefield there's like a disconnect between what's happening on the battlefield, what's happening in the game, and what's kind of happening in your head. Like what narrative you're trying to play out on the tabletop, and there's a massive disconnect at the moment. It feels a little bit anemic. 40k does in terms of storytelling on a tabletop. Detachments like this, I think, go a long way to improving that. And the keeping track of Drukhari and Harlequins and like the push and pull of trying to win and not lose this wager, and the enhancements that you can get to it, and then like the really, really nice, simple, useful stratagems which are in here are really good, which then encourage you to make very, very different army lists, I think. So, for instance, with this one, you've got so many different ways you can go with this. You're obviously going to need a reasonable amount of Harlequins. So you're going to have some troops, you're going to have some Skyweavers, you're going to have some Starweavers with the troops in. I'm not sure you're particularly going to have any Void Weavers, because I think that's a little bit of a waste of money, waste of points, because they're not going to be doing the they're not going to be able to do the damage which is going to top up the wagers. So you're going to be needing units which are able to make a kill. I don't think Void Weavers in of themselves are going to be able to make that kill very often. So it's going to be Skyweavers, Starweavers, troops. Death Jesters are going to be brilliant, I think, picking out characters and things like that. Nice, easy, cheap kill to top up the wages and things. But then on the Drukhari side, you could either go Coven. You could go Coven units to kind of just sit there on objectives, hold objectives, push grotesques, and Talos and things forward to try and take advantage of the wager that the Harlequins are going first. I would probably say that the Harlequins want to try and get the first kill in the first turn, and then the Drukhari take advantage of that in the second turn and make use of the reroll ones to hit and reroll ones to wound. You're going to make use of that on some of the Drukhari units anyway. The ones with Archons already get the reroll ones to wound. And then in the third turn, the Harlequins are going to come back and kind of just tidy up a little bit of what's left that the Drukhari didn't kill in the second turn with all of this advancement. Or you could go like a mixed force. You could go very vehicle heavy with lots of dart lancers everywhere, backed up by Kabbalite warriors, splitting the Kabbalite warriors off into Venom, so you can have like splinter cannons and dart lancers and blasters all in a Venom, kind of pushing out in the first turn, and then the Harlequins are going to come in the second turn with all the troops. There's just so much variety and directions which you can take this particular detachment. I don't think this is, when you talk about Warhammer 40,000 being like fixed and worked out and people know what the meta is, and like if you're going to run a Space Marine army, then this is the army list that you pick. This has created so many kind of different layers. Do you push with the Harlequins first? Do you push with the Drukhari first? That's the first thing that you answer. And then if you are going to push with the Harlequins first, what do you push with? Arguably it's going to be the Skyweavers. So you're going to be like flying in with the Skyweavers to try and pop a vehicle in the first turn to then give you Drukhari the wager in the second turn. If you do want to kind of push in with the Drukhari first, what are you going to push in with the Drukhari? You can have some Reapers at the background to kind of pick out and target some enemy tanks or some vehicles. You can have some Scourge coming in. It's fantastic. I love the idea of this. It's a really, really interesting, fun detachment that applies a little bit of narrative storytelling in your head as you're playing the game. And I like that link. That connection between the game, your army, and what's happening in your head in the narrative idea of things. So I like this. I like this a lot. I think I prefer I like and I rate the Reaper's Wager more than I do the Armoured Warhost. The Armoured Warhost is really, really good. It's really, really fun idea of doing like an entire same Han Eldar force, but the Reaper's Wager is just so fun, and I am very excited. Please drop your army list ideas down in the comments down below. I want to see what army list you're all going to come up with for this, because it's really fun. I like it a lot. I'm going to write one once I finish the stream, and I'll probably throw it up on my Instagram and Blue Sky, so drop me a follow on there if you want to see my ideas for some lists. Yeah, I think it's great. So thanks very much, everybody. Take care, and I'm sure I will see you again on the next video. Have a good one and happy Christmas.